everyone, today we're gonna go tour McGill University. It's open house day. We're gonna ask about admissions, studying medicine, maybe as an international student, understanding how all of that works, and also how the law school here works. So lots of questions are gonna be answered. Follow the whole video. Isn't this campus amazing? We didn't even tour a 10th of the campus, by the way, everyone. McGill is considered one of the top universities in Canada, very, very famous, and it's actually even famous worldwide, as it is ranked number 31 according to the QS World University Ranking. Its tuition is pretty high as well, averaging $35,000 per year for international students. But honestly, top notch, very, very famous university, and it's one of the oldest universities here in Quebec. One thing is for sure at McGill, you're gonna climb. It's like it's very tiring. We made it to the medical building.
I'm Sarah Marshall, and I am a faculty lecturer.
My name is Sarah.
It was meant to be.
Yes.
Sarah
Perfect.
with an H?
Without an H.
I don't know. I can't continue.
Nice to meet you. Well, good. I'm sorry about that, but I always get that question.
I know, this is a Sarah thing, yeah. So I'm
Nice
a
to meet
faculty
you.
lecturer in the program at McGill, and I've been working at McGill for about 11 years.
Wow.
But I've been a physiotherapist for 38 years.
Okay.
So this is somebody who loves physiotherapy. Yes. And in terms of specifically your question about international students, everybody's welcome to come and study at McGill. The language of instruction at McGill is English, so there is an English language requirement. And the other thing is McGill is situated in the province of Quebec, and Quebec in Canada is a French-speaking province, and so there's also a French language requirement.
So it's both?
It's both.
Oh, all right. So even if they're okay with English, they still need to learn the French language.
I shall explain.
Yes.
When we go and do our student placements, we of course are in the clinics and hospitals in the city.
Yeah.
In the reality of Quebec, which is French.
So they have to learn French.
They have to, so that means they're going to be very skilled because they have three languages, one from their country, and then English and French as well.
Yes, perfect. And then for admissions, because I know there's some specifications when it comes to the medical field. I'm not sure if there's any special is a student who studied high school elsewhere able to do undergrad in physiotherapy in Canada?
Yes, they have to apply as a U0 in the general science program at McGill, and from U0 they then ask for a transfer in U1, first year university, into the School of Physical or Occupational Therapy.
Interesting. So it's like a 1 year in general sciences, basically, and then it's not going to be a problem to transfer to do therapy later.
Well, that's a bit of a generalization, oversimplification, because it is a problem because there aren't very many spaces, and you have to have good grades. So walk with me.
Yes, perfect.
So the U0 is above here.
All right.
And then they transfer into year 1, PT program or OT program.
And they have to be very good
to do that. Yes. Fall, winter, and then either PT or OT. This is how it works here. It's to practice as a physiotherapist or an occupational therapist in Quebec, actually in Canada, is you need an applied master's degree. So it's not just a bachelor's degree, it's an applied master's degree.
So how long is it overall?
If a Quebec student coming from CEGEP, it's 4.5 years.
But if
there's a U0, it's 5.5 years.
Yeah.
Or if you have a completed degree in the country that you come from,
which usually happens.
Then it's your completed degree, which was 3 or 4 or whatever, how many years it is.
3 to 4, yeah.
3 to 4, and then it's qualifying year, and then master's applied. So it's whatever they've done before and 2.5 years.
All right, so let's say someone studied some type of physical therapy abroad.
Yes.
Is there a way to continue it here? It's a hard question.
Well, there's two questions in there. If if they're halfway through a degree, they have to start from zero.
Let's say they finished a bachelor.
If they have studied physiotherapy or occupational therapy, and they want, I'm going to talk only about physiotherapy because I don't know about occupation.
Focus on physiotherapy.
In physiotherapy, if they have qualified as a physiotherapist in the country of origin, they can apply to something we call the bridging program.
Okay.
So if they have a license in Brazil, France, to India to practice physiotherapy, once they prove their language requirements, they can apply to the bridging program at McGill. And
it's
that is through this. It depends on what is deemed necessary for the complement, like the courses they're missing. So it's a one-on-one. It's a
one-on-one system. You just
situation.
need to contact and see how that works.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time. Very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Nursing at McGill, and with us is I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
Leah Sanzone.
Yes, and if you could introduce yourself and what you do here at McGill, and then I'm gonna ask you a few questions that I get a lot from international students. So yes.
So I'm Leah Sanzone. I'm an associate professor at the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. I'm the program director for the Bachelor's of Science program in nursing.
Wow, I'm getting a big shot interview.
Of the Nursing Peer Mentorship Program.
Well, very nice to meet you. My name is Sarah again. I'm going to start with the admission process. I get a lot of questions about what's the requirements for people that just graduated high school, and then we can move on to people who graduated some kind of bachelor degree abroad and then they want to join in. But for high school students, let's say they just finished their, let's say in Europe, baccalaureate, and then they want to do nursing in Canada, what's the specific process they have to go through?
So for those students, any student out of province of Quebec and international students, they have to apply for what we call the freshman science year, U0. There's a whole list of courses that they have to show proof of, and that's all posted on the website at admissions, okay? But once they apply, once they get accepted, then they basically have to do a full year of science courses. They have to do 2 physics, 2 math, 3 chems. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's all written there. So they need all of their science courses. So you have to think about equivalent to our CEGEP students. Our CEGEP students have 2 years of college where they do all of those. Our international students do 1 extra year of high school, and then they do the 2nd year at McGill. So it's equivalent. So when they join, exactly. So when they join us in U1, all of our students have the equivalent courses.
This is for people who finished high school abroad, but in case someone finished a bachelor degree in some kind of in the sciences, so how could they? Should they do? Yeah.
So there's two options here. We have a program at McGill that's called Direct Entry. That's the old name. The new name is going to be changed to Nurse Entry. Somebody who has a bachelor's degree in anything else but nursing can apply to this program. This is a program that they do their entry to practice and graduate master's degree at the same time. It's a pretty demanding program, and the first year is what they call qualifying year. It's pretty demanding. We actually have one of the students here.
Hey, that's why you were nodding.
So it is a pretty demanding program. Once they've acquired or completed their qualifying year, then they go into our graduate studies, which is 2 years. So it's a pretty
dense.
Exactly, compromise. So, but they do graduate after 3 years with a master's degree.
All right.
Okay, and nursing and a master's degree. The other option is if you are a student within McGill, you can apply for an inter-faculty transfer. So you are studying physiology. And within physiology, you just say, I think I want to go into nursing. You need to have certain criteria, GPA of 3 and above, certain criteria, and it's all listed. And then you apply, and we look at some of your courses. Some of your courses will be counted or accepted in our curriculum. and then you join our program and do it accordingly. You can even do sometimes a major in nursing and a minor in something else if you choose, because your courses are less than everybody else. So that's the second option. And the third option is you apply from scratch for a bachelor's of science. Yeah, and that's 3 years. So that's the same thing. It's 3 years. The other one is 3 years as well, but some of your courses will be accepted, and then there's the direct entry.
But for if they, let's say they do, like you said, they reapply again from the beginning, they don't have to do that year zero thing, right?
No. Well, as I say that's not true. If they need the science courses. So if they have a degree in health sciences in Quebec, in Cégep, and they have all the courses, they don't have to do U0.
But abroad.
Exactly. But if they're joining us from with an arts degree somewhere else, they need to do their sciences. They could do it on their own and apply to McGill as a mature student. So if you're 21 years of age, you're classified as a mature student, you can just take all the science courses you need and then apply into the program.
Okay. They have a lot of options, I assume.
Options.
Like, do you advise students who have like very specific situations to contact like admissions or something? Is there a way to get the information?
Contact definitely admissions at McGill. They can also contact the school directly, and based on which program they're interested in, they'll speak to their respective program director.
So unfortunately, we weren't able to talk to someone from the School of Medicine, the Faculty of Medicine at McGill, because the line was insane. And I felt that people would be very, very frustrated if we stayed and interviewed for too long. But I was reading most of the information right now, and wow. It's insanely competitive. Just to explain why a lot of people say that it's impossible to study medicine in Canada as an international student. No, that's not true. It's not impossible. It's highly competitive, insanely competitive. I cannot, right now for the upcoming year, the seats available for international students is 2. Average applicants, 80. Average number of applicants is 80, and average number of people interviewed is 8, and then accepted people, the number of seats they have is just 2. Wow. And it's a pretty expensive program, and also it's you need to have an undergrad under your belt, meaning you cannot come from high school right away. It's a bit different from systems like Tunisia, for example, where you finish your high school and you go directly to medical school. Nope. Here you have to do an undergrad and then study medicine. So yeah. I'll put the link for the website below for the Faculty of Medicine at McGill, but that's practically it. So I encourage anyone who knows they can do it, they have the money for it, one, and also the GPA for it, because the average GPA is 3.75, and also the motivation. Like, you need to tell them why you want to do it. Like, you need to convince them. It's literally exactly like what you're going to see in the next part of the video where we talk about law school. I had enough time to interview someone who was amazing, tell us all about it. And yeah, so moving on to the next part of the video where we talk about the Faculty of Law at McGill.
School of Law.
My name is Kelly Hanley. I'm a senior admissions coordinator at the Faculty of Law. I've been here for over 10 years.
Wow.
So I love it here. I love McGill.
I can tell.
I love McGill. I'm not a McGill alumni, but I love working at McGill, and I love working in the law faculty just because of the diversity of our students and the energy I get from the students. It's exciting. It's really exciting, especially doing recruitment events like this.
Yeah,
super exciting.
Especially me coming to interview after.
Absolutely, this is amazing. I love this. Ask away.
Them to follow.
Well, they would have to complete an undergrad degree
First,
especially if they're coming right from high school. They would have to apply for a permit, for a student permit. So an international student would definitely have to prepare a long time in advance to make sure that they have what they need to study here. They would have to be fluent in English and French. We don't require an LSAT, which other schools do, and I know there's quite a lot of law schools that do. McGill does not, and they would have to have like a strong case to explain to us why they want to study law. We would ask them to explain to us why they would want to come from a completely different country to come to McGill. I know McGill is international and it's very well known. Our program permits them to practice law anywhere in the world. So you get a double degree, one in civil law and one in common law.
Okay.
So I know in France they practice civil law. In Quebec we practice civil law.
It's like common law is in America? In
Yes.
the USA? Yeah.
Yeah, so everywhere else is common law, but we're civil law.
Okay.
We have a lot of our students that come from France, actually, and they apply because they want to study civil law and common law and be more dynamic and be able to pretty much practice law everywhere.
Yeah.
So we would just need them to make their case as to why they would want to study here as opposed to where they already are. And that's usually indicated in the personal statement. Other than that, I mean, they're welcome to apply just as much as everybody else. Absolutely.
Explain, is it okay if they studied, does it have to be a specific type of degree they do in undergrad? It can be anything?
Anything that you're passionate about.
Okay.
Anything that you'll do well in. There's no course, there's no undergrad that can get you ready for law school. Law school is a completely different animal.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's an animal that has stronger teeth. Okay? So that's my analogy. I mean, a lot of people think that, the pathway to law is a political science degree. It's not.
Okay.
It's an asset, but I mean, it just gives you the ability, in that program, you do a lot of research, a lot of papers, a lot of writing, which you will do in law school.
It helps.
But if you think about it, law is all-encompassing in everything we do every day. So you can come from any background. We have a lot of students that come from a music background. We have students who come from health science, or we have students that come from kinesiology. And so you have to understand the medical liability, which is also law. So you have to understand all of that. So when you think about the law, it's all-encompassing. A lot of international students, they ask the question, is it going to be in person? Do I have to come in person? Because we did the Zoom thing for COVID.
But it's COVID.
But COVID's over. Well, sort of. Ish. So everything's in person. We do have part-time studies, but again, you have to be here in person. I would just say for international students, just make sure you give yourself the time to set yourself up here. If you're coming from a country where you're going to have a hard time getting your permits and everything, make sure you give yourself really the time it needs and maybe a little extra.
Okay.
Because, we will offer you a deferral, but just make sure that you have a good plan, a solid plan. And if you don't have any family, you're coming here alone, try to find a network or somewhere where you can fit in, where you feel supported.
That's why we're here.
Well, exactly. That's why you're here. Because I hear that from a lot of international students. It's, I really want to come to McGill. I really want to go, but I'm going to be here alone. So what do I do?
I get that question a lot.
Not a lot, but mostly,
it's there.
Mostly from students who they're coming here. It's their first time leaving their home country, and this is the only place that's really interesting to them, and they really want to. That's how I know they really want to study law, because they're coming here alone.
Yeah. They're leaving everything just like to study this in this country specifically and at McGill.
I just want them to be reassured that once they're here, they will be supported.
Yeah.
They will be supported by the faculty. They will be supported by their peers. We're not like every other law school at all, so don't feel like you're coming into like a Shark Tank.
I think
You're
that's
not.
the
You're
image.
not.
Yeah.
It's so, honestly, it's like a small family, and everyone helps each other, and don't feel like you're coming into law school and you're by yourself and no one's gonna care and you're alone. You're not alone. Everyone's in the same boat once you're in law school. Your first year, you're all together, you're all in the same boat, and you've all been chosen to be here.
Yeah.
So really, I really don't want you to feel like you're alone ever. And if you do, tell us.
Yeah, it's important to talk, yeah.
Tell us. We have a wellness advisor, and you can speak to her at any time and just say, tell us how you're feeling. Tell us, I want to connect, but I don't know how. Where do I go? What do I do? Who do I talk to? That's what we're here for. Once you get here, we will take care of you if you let us. Just let us.
Beautiful last statement. I loved it. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad you did this.
And I'm so glad I got to meet you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Oops. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. I'm pretty sure you enjoyed this. And we'll talk more about other schools in other faculties at McGill soon. Thanks.